All right, we're live. So I'll hand it
Cool.
back over to you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so just to give you just a really high-level rundown of what we do, we basically host a web-based software, which is a journal that really is quite different to most other journals out there. It's a journal that can help improve trading discipline, essentially. So what we do is that we help traders essentially break down their strategy into a series of rule-based processes, such as what their trade entry is, what their trade management is, and what their trade exit is. And what we're trying to do is really reduce that emotional burden that comes with trading. So I know that's exactly what you guys also do.
Yes.
So this is where I came with I saw what Norman was doing on YouTube with his had his 4 minute drills and stuff, and I just watched his video and I was just like, this is perfect. This is exactly what we do, but obviously in in software form. So that was really exciting. That's why I approached Norman and said, we should really do something together. So basically what we what we're trying to do is we built a journal that helps traders reduce psychological mistakes, improve discipline, manage psychology, all these things, and that's exactly what I want to show you how we do that. So
Excellent.
let me actually jump in and just share my screen with you.
Okay.
uh, and feel free to just type in and ask me any questions at any time. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
sorry, I'm just gonna be
Okay.
coughing here. Just I've got it's a cold day. Yeah.
No problem. I'm getting over a cold myself, so I've been coughing occasionally. Okay.
Cool, cool.
Good. I
Okay,
can
so
see your
this
screen.
is okay, cool. So this is an example of the journal that we host on our own website at
Okay.
Trading Consistently. What we offer and what we was offering to Norman as well was a partnership where we provide this software to him,
Hmm.
well, to yourselves, I should say, and we brand it to the Disciplined Trader brand. So everything that you see here, sorry, let me just move this out. So anything that you see here where it says, trading consistently, and obviously the red background, or red orange, I should say, and the footer, everything that says trading consistently will essentially say, the disciplined trader. So we provide a separate private version of this journal.
Okay.
And what happens is people can go in and create their journals through their platform, add their own specific strategies, and really help let the journal help them understand what they're
Hmm.
doing wrong, or at least understand their own psychology. So what you see here is actually a bunch of journals that's made already by our existing users. so so what I scroll down here, we have I'd say several hundred users already on our platform. As you can see, many pages worth of data that people are putting into here. And what they essentially do is they go in and use, well, I should start by saying each one of these is a separate journal.
Okay.
And what happens is they can go in and they can create a journal based on any criteria they want. So whether it may be, it could be based on a trading strategy. So for example, we've got a demo for a trading strategy for Forex,
Oh, I see.
or it could be for stocks as well. So you can really trade any market um, in any way. And I'll show you just in a minute how we customize, the journal to whatever market. But the beauty about it is that it's really platform independent and market independent. And what that means is basically you can trade futures, Forex, stocks, all on the same platform.
Hmm.
and you
Or
can
on
also,
different ones if you have accounts
or
on
on
other
different.
places. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's broker independent as well. So if you just trade futures, but you had 5 different brokers, you can still use our journal. So that's just a really high level view. Let me just jump in right now and show you what a sample journal would look like. So what we do is we help traders set up a journal, what we call a journal template.
Hmm.
And what a journal template is exactly what they see. They look at this template every time they want to either even consider a trade or even consider taking a trade. And what it essentially does is that it shows the trader exactly what their trading plan is every time before they even take the trade. So it's really what is their template for entry, what is their template for trade management, and what is their template for exit. So it really structures their trade from, being kind of in their head like, yeah, I think I know how I trade, to really writing it down on a piece of paper, but not only just writing it down on a piece of paper, getting it into their journal here and viewing it every single time before they take the trade.
Oh,
So that's
interesting.
obviously gonna,
Okay.
yeah, so that's obviously gonna help them understand their discipline, well, not just understand, sorry, enact on their discipline a lot more consistently than if they would just had their idea of what their trade entry is in their head, and then they suddenly go out and veer into something else and get distracted, or even worse, get emotionally involved in their trade and then forget, or even subtly leave out bits of their trade that they think, that are not, sorry, leave out their bits of their trade plan
Right.
that are not relevant at that time. So, we all do this. We get emotionally involved in a trade, and then we sort of forget little small bits of our trading plan, and then we lose the trade, and then we realize, what did I do wrong? Oh, I didn't even follow my trade plan properly. So this is meant to prevent all that. So just to jump in and show you what it is. So what we do is that we start off right on the top from why am I doing this? What happens if I don't succeed? So really make it clear to that user, what are the repercussions of doing this and why are we even doing it? Give them a purpose. What's the goals of the business? What instruments they're going to trade? What indicators they're planning on using? What's the trade management rules? So really, a trader comes in and defines their own custom versions of whatever this may be. So they can see that every time they view the trade. So once they view that, so every time they're considering taking the trade, they can see that. So once they're actually considering taking the trade, what they can do is they can start to journal their entry straight into our platform. So they can put in the date, they can put in the account type, whether it's a live or a demo, what security it is. In this case, this is Forex, so it's obviously just going to be currencies, what time frame they're trading on, what direction it is. And this is where it gets really, well, this is what we do that's really different. We have what we call a pre-trade checklist. And what that is essentially is a checklist for trade entry. So obviously every single trader who has a strategy has some rules that they consider on what they should do, or what criteria they need to fulfill before entering a trade. And what we do is we get that, that those rules into our trade entry checklist, so that every time a trader is considering taking a trade, they just look at their trade entry checklist and go, okay, have I done this? Have I checked that? Have I seen this? And just basically tick off that they've followed their pre-trade checklist. Now, I should say right now that almost everything here can be customizable. You can remove whole sections of this if it's not relevant. This is not this is where the customization of our journal is really different to what you've probably seen elsewhere. And I will show you that in a minute.
Okay.
But for now, this is just showing you basically the concepts that we promote. And the other thing I should also say is I
So
know that,
everything. sorry to interrupt. Everything I'm seeing
Yep.
here, this is pre-loaded, and then
Pretty,
once the person goes in, they can, like you said, customize it, remove whole sections,
yep.
change the criteria here and things of that nature. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And we can really get um, the ideas and concepts that Norman has in his trading material
Hmm.
and tailor it exactly to his concepts using our journals. So
Oh,
whatever
very
his
nice.
teachings are,
Hmm.
we can put directly into our journal, and it can be used as a template so that every time a new customer jumps on board or a new trader wants to trade, they are following, the template that Norman has set up. So really is very customizable. And once again, I'll show you that in a minute. But for now, let's just push on forward. So that's defining what their trade entry checklist is, and then what they can do is go ahead and take screenshots of their charts, and not only screenshots, you can actually do video recording as well. But what I'll first do is I'll show you how screenshots work. So we integrate with a bunch of screenshot tools, and really easy to use screenshot tools, and all these screenshot tools are actually free. So anytime you want to
Oh
take a
yeah, I
screenshot.
have a Jing too.
I have Jing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Brilliant. So as you can see, like, Jing is so easy to use, and I'm sure you know how to take a screenshot and annotate
Hmm.
all that stuff you can do, and really super easy to do that. So let's just say if we were looking at the chart and then we did copy that, obviously you're probably already aware that you can annotate and all that stuff here, and all that stuff. But
Right.
then the cool thing is you can just copy from here and then go into our, oh, sorry, wrong one. Sorry. You can just go to paste image and then go Control V, and voila, your image is pasted there, and you hit upload and it uploads it directly. So really cuts down the steps from having to save that image on your desktop and then select the file from here and all that stuff. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
literally copy it to your clipboard, paste it into our journal, and we upload it for you.
Nice. Very
So
nice.
that makes, capturing your screenshots super easy,
Hmm.
super quick, but we go beyond that. We've had people who've come up to us and said, this journaling, it takes too long to enter. I'm a day trader, I'm a scalper, I need something really quick. And what we did is we went back to the drawing board and said, how do we do this? How do we make journaling really, really quick for those people who are, short-term traders?
Right.
And the way we did that was actually using Jing once again, and using Jing's feature, which is the ability to capture video. I don't know if you've had a chance to play with this. Have you ever done a video
I
video
have.
capturing with Jing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Super handy.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And basically, it's just right now I could be recording my chart, right? Like, as an example, if I'm looking at my trading screen, I could be recording my trading screen and just talking through my trade. So rather than having to journal anything, I could be looking at my trading chart and say, what are the reasons I'm entering this trade? Have I followed my trade entry checklist? Have I um, how do I feel for the day, or whatever it may be that I want to journal. And I could be recording that on video. And then once I'm done with that, I've now got a video recorded of me talking through my trade. And basically from there, I can save that. Unfortunately, you can't do copy and paste with this one, but but you
But
can just
still
save that.
pretty simple to just save it and
Yeah,
upload it. Yeah, very nice.
exactly. And then once you select the file, you upload it, and it stays in our journal. You can actually view that as well. Now,
Wow, that's excellent. Is there any limit to how much can be stored in this section?
yeah, so obviously we don't want to have enormous videos because videos can get quite large.
Right.
So the good thing that Jing does already for us is that it limits the video to 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So what it does is that the 5-minute video, it compresses it and it allows us to put in a format that we can easily put into our journal. Now, what I should say also is it doesn't mean that you are only restricted by 5 minutes. It means each video is restricted by 5 minutes. Let's just say for whatever reason you wanted to have, actually a good reason would be that you go in with a trade entry, you can take a video of you doing a trade entry, and then when you go back to, when the trade is actually completed, if you go in and you want to take another video just to see,
The profit you
just to,
made
just,
or the
yeah,
outcome
the
of the
profit
trade.
and
Yeah.
yeah, all that you can take another video and have that for another 5 minutes, and then you can upload that as well. So you can upload as many 5-minute chunks of video as you want.
Okay.
So so I'll show you this in a second, but while that's uploading, so what you can do is you can also go in and put in your entry price, your stop loss price, take profit, your commissions, your spreads, what your risk to reward is, your risk percentage, all of this stuff, as I was saying, can be customized.
Mm-hmm.
You can fill in any notes or how you're feeling. So, for example, what are the fundamentals like? Is there any major upcoming trends? How are you feeling? Another popular one I have is um, just, have I recently lost a trade,
Mm.
or have I lost a trade prior? So when people are actually tracking that, they can realize that, hey, is their prior loss influencing their next
Their
trade?
current or
So,
next trade. Yeah, wow. That's
right,
that's powerful.
it is. And then it gets into what we call trade tagging. So you can actually set up any trade tags that you want and just tag whatever aspects of that trade is and run reports on it. So, for example, um, was this, let's just say you early exited. You can tick that off for this particular trade, and then you can run a report to see how many times you early exited any, in your whole journal.
Mm.
And you can
Wow.
understand more patterns behind your psychology. And I'm just about to show you another section about that as well, but you can understand more patterns of your psychology when you can run a report on how often you've done that. So there's obviously more things than that. There's things like you can just, okay, so you can tag things not just based on psychology, but also based on your trading strategy. So it may be that you want to see technically that, okay, I want to see how often I'm profitable when I trade against the trend, or in the trend direction. So you
Right.
can tag each trade that, okay, in this particular trade, it is in the trade direction. And at the end of the week or at the end of the month, you can look back and say, okay, how profitable was I trading in the trend direction, or how profitable was I trading against the trade direction?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the kind of technical tags that you can use as well. You can use fundamental, like you can basically customize it to whatever you want.
Okay, so you
Um,
can add any tags in or delete the tags you
yeah,
know you'll never use, and very nice. Okay.
exactly. So it's limited to your imagination only. It's really what do you want to track,
Hmm.
and just putting it in there.
That's
So
great, but it can also get dangerous with tags because, I mean,
yeah,
our email systems use tags, right? So, I mean, the amount of tags we have gets a little
yeah,
overwhelming sometimes, but no,
that's
I
true.
mean, the idea is great. Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
definitely. It definitely. I guess anything here can be used and abused. It's
Right,
just
right.
trying to give, and that's the beauty about it, because you guys have, that education service where you can provide that consistent education on how the best practices to use the journal as
Mm,
well, which
yeah,
is what I was talking to Norman about, and saying, you really have an opportunity where, like with your 4-minute drills and stuff, to be able to provide an education on how to, I mean, you already have a concept of what is the ideal trading journal
right.
in the education. And it's really then, what is the ideal trading journal to, how do I apply this ideal trading journal? And this is where you can use this software to show people this is exactly what you do. You jump in, you change this, this bit, change tags, and just have key tags that you want to track, or whatever it may be. It really kind of you can give them a best practices idea.
Yeah, that's
So
excellent. Right.
so the next section is what we call the psychology zone. This is, I don't know if you're a bit of, if you're much of an affirmations believer, but you guys are in, you guys probably would believe it more
Of
than,
course.
because you're in a trading psychology space.
Of
You'd probably
course.
believe it a lot more than, some other traders. But I'm a huge fan of trading affirmations. So the way that we would use trading affirmations is that a trader can actually read through their own customized uh, trading affirmations before taking a trade. So that helps them really get in the right frame of mind that they probably need to be in before entering a trade.
Wow,
And
that's
really, it's
excellent.
just,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
really nice. Because, well, of course, yes, we believe in the affirmations, and we have our own as part of our program, and they're audio affirmations. So I'm wondering, I mean, would that be something we could put in this psychology zone? Would that be something we can customize
yeah.
and
So,
have loaded for people?
so So obviously it would be much easier if you get those audio affirmations and put them into text form that they read,
Okay.
for technically speaking. But
Mm-hmm.
if it means that, you have I think I was with Norman last time, and I think he asked me to link to a certain page of his that has an audio affirmations. And
Mm.
I said, yeah, I can do that. And I even showed him how we were able to, able to put a link here that you just click on that link and it jumps you to that page where you have all your audio
Oh,
affirmations as
perfect.
well.
Okay. Yeah, that would
So you can
work
do
as
that as
well.
well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like, and obviously in the future, if we can try and, when we upgrade, we're going to have all more and more features in here. So maybe one of those features could be putting in audio psychology things. I don't know, but
Yeah.
but we could definitely look into that as well.
Okay.
Um, so So that's what you need to do before this is everything that you should be doing ideally before you enter a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously journaling, looking through your trade entry checklist, looking at entering the criteria of your trade, sorry, the various, trade entry price, putting all those details in, taking a screenshot of your trade, tagging it, and then doing a psychology zone. And that's all that you have to do before you enter a trade. So once you actually do enter a trade, then you can manage the trade as well. And we don't have an example here, but I can show you how we can use the journal to also manage your trade. So whether let's just say you enter a trade and then you need to put the stop loss to break even, and you need to do that on a consistent basis, you can have a trade management checklist as well if you need to. So once the trade is all done and you want to start journaling the outcome of the trade, you'd come to this section and basically just fill in what the outcome was. And once again, take more screenshots, what the profit and loss was, and then start reviewing what your mistakes were.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from the trade? How can you improve? And then this is the really cool part that we are a huge fan of, which is what we call the mistakes log. And essentially what that is a lot like trade tagging, where you can actually tag what you believe you did wrong in that trade psychologically. So whether you entered too early, whether you were overconfident, whether you didn't follow your money management rules, whether you changed your mind, whether you exited too late, all this stuff you can actually, do a self-evaluation of what were my, if any, what were my mistakes in this trade.
Oh,
And
very neat. So then you can run a report just like with the tagging in the beginning to
exactly,
follow that and to see the trends. Very cool. Um,
exactly.
so Norman likes to say instead of like, well, I guess he does call it a mistake, or he says when he makes a mistake in his trading, I did something un-Norman like, or not like me, and I don't know, that would be interesting to put something like that in there.
Definitely. Look,
Yeah.
you can change this mistakes logs to say, what did I do un-Norman like?
Yeah. Right.
So definitely we can change that around, and I will show you how to do that in just a moment. But let's just say you submitted that trade, And oh no, I didn't actually fill in what my trader security was, so that's fine. Let me just put that in, and let's just do this. Submit that. Okay, so what you have now is you've submitted the trade, which is great, but what you can do is you can actually share that trade with someone else. So let's just say one of your customers, he's done a trade and he wants to share that with Norman,
Mhm.
as an example, or even anyone else within the forum or a messaging board or a chat room or something like that. They can simply just click on that copy me, and now they've got a short URL link that they can put on Twitter or, a forum or something like that. And to show you what that actually looks like, so this is what it looks like. So this is the trade that,
Bye.
quote unquote trade.
Mhm.
This is the quote unquote trade that we just took. And, they can, a person who's on the other side who can click on that link and see the trade can actually view exactly what, what the trade was, and view all the details of the trade, and really start to give comments on how that trade was. So
Oh
this is
wow.
really good in the situations where you're trying to do mentoring, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know if you guys do that or not, but if you do, then this is an opportunity. Maybe even it's a business opportunity to provide up value service or something like
Right.
that.
We don't
But
currently do the mentoring, but I mean, we've considering, or sometimes we may offer a small coaching package or something along those lines. But we actually um, have a company that comes in and does our coaching for us. So this would
yep,
still be a great tool, to coordinate with them and have them view everything on a consistent
exactly.
basis. That's really nice, and then give comments. That's a great feature.
Yeah, so they
Hmm.
can, give comments, they can add screenshots of their own,
Ah.
to that comment.
Hmm.
And so really can say, hey, look, you did this right, but you should have really entered here, or whatever it may be, and really just leave whatever comments that they want to hear. They can actually also view the charts of what the trader originally took. So obviously we just took that just a moment ago. And they can also view the video. So here is the video that we took,
Oh, nice.
and they
Yeah.
can view exactly what that traders was looking at, as well as what they were thinking at the time that they were taking the trade. So that's that. Um, so that just sort of shows you a brief idea of how we've gone about designing a journal and how all the different ways you can use that journal. But the other aspect is the reporting. So that's the other part, like the part that people really want to know, like what what
What does
what
this all
results.
mean for me, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I put this all in, but then how do I analyze it and really get something out of it? Yeah, definitely. And a quick question while we're on this page here. So I see
Yep.
all these journals, right? And does that mean only um, I have access to these, or does everybody have access to everything you see here, or is it
That's
kept
a really good
private?
question. It's absolutely private. The
Okay.
reason
Yeah.
why you can see the journals that I can see is because I'm actually logged in as an administrator,
Okay, I was
and
wondering.
I can actually see everyone's journals here.
Okay.
But look, obviously, when you log in as yourself, and actually, as a matter of fact, I should quickly show you that. When you log in as an individual trader, let me just you see a slightly different version
Okay.
of what you would see obviously as an administrator. So you have this concept that we call the discipline points, charts, and the entries this week. So you have basically a graphical representation of well, it's what we call discipline points, which is kind of like a gamification. I don't know if you've heard of that term, but essentially what it is it tries to make journaling into a game in a sense by giving people points for every time they journal. So
Right.
really,
Everybody likes to do good and know that they're doing good. So it kind of gives you that
yeah,
pat on the back, right? Like, oh, I earned a
exactly.
point. I mean, I
It
use
really, Yep.
I use Duolingo for learning another language, and they've done the same thing, there's stickiness to that. It does help
There is.
make people happy to use the software a little bit
Yeah,
more. Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
And it gives them a benchmark, and it also helps them understand how how well they are using it, really, or
Right.
at least gives them an opportunity to beat their old score, and really appeals to some of those types of these
Competitive people.
competitive people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like, hey, my discipline points is so much higher than yours, that kind of thing.
Right.
So
Right.
really, it kind of builds, and the beauty about it is that it focuses on journaling as opposed to how much money did you make, because really the focus should always be on how disciplined are you, not always on how much money did you make, because we all know that obviously with greater discipline and self-control, whoever's really good at discipline is going to obviously be a lot better at trading than someone who's just made a whole lot of money in one go and then lost it all because of lack of discipline. So
Right.
really the focus should always be how disciplined are you, and you know yeah,
You're
and
preaching
the
to the
point
choir, right? I mean, that's what we
right,
that's what we say. So
absolutely,
that's great.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is an example. Is if I was logged in as an individual user, you'd only be able to see
Your
my
own
own
journals that
journal.
you created.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Obviously, as an administrator, if you want to provide that either that coaching service that you can actually go in and view other people's journals, you can do that. But administrators always have the ability to view everything. So
Okay.
that's just how that is. But so let me just log back out and just jump back in as an administrator to show you the custom reports that we can run. Actually, before I do that, I'll just quickly show you how you can edit the journal. Um,
Okay. Yeah. That's nice.
oh, it's a bit slow today. My internet connection.
Are you still
Interesting.
traveling, or are you back? You
I
said.
am. I'm actually I'm traveling around Outback Australia, and you'd be surprised how bad the internet connection is.
Oh.
I sometimes have to resort to a satellite dish internet connection, which is extremely unreliable.
Oh no.
Um, so that's just what you get for being on the road and traveling while working at the same time. So
Yeah, you have those hiccups. I understand.
okay, yes, we're finally logged in. Um, no, no, I'm trying to scroll down, but it's not scrolling down. Always gotta love having technical issues when you're trying to do presentations. It's always like, just what I needed. Here we go. Okay, so let's just quickly show you how you can edit this journal template. So as I said earlier, everything is customizable. So you can go in and click on any area and really customize any section of it. So let's just say I want to gut this. I can just delete that and I can start to type in, why I'm doing this,
Oh, nice.
and really start to customize it to my own needs.
Hmm.
So that's one section, but more importantly, oops, what you can do is you have a bunch of field types that you can use. And
Oh, nice. And it just
this
looks like drag and drop, and you just put it in, and
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. You just
and you
drag and
can
drop in.
move
You
it
can,
up or down, and wow,
yep,
great.
move it up and down. You can delete the fields if you don't want them. You can, let's just do that now. Actually, let's delete the fields. You can customize any value of the fields that you want. So you can add in, if you want to start trading um, the Euro NOK or something like that, you can just quickly just add it into your template. You can change your checklist to whatever it may be. Let's just say you don't want that anymore. And you go, okay, I don't want to, I'm just going to get rid of that. And I want to add now my own in, whatever that may be. So really you can have an enormous amount of flexibility in
That's
in what
fantastic.
what you want.
Yeah.
really there's nothing here that you can't customize. Like if you just really wanted to gut the whole thing and start fresh, you can do that. And that's the beauty about what we provide. We actually provide normal traders with a sample template, but they can go in and they can just gut the whole thing and go from there. And what we do for you specifically, what you guys, what we would do is we would get your ideas on what is the perfect type of trading journal, and we would put that into a template like this. And every single time someone wants to start a brand new journal, they would follow your own template. So what I mean by that is if we wanted to create a brand new template from scratch, once we've created a template and if we wanted to create a new journal from that template, we would simply go out, oh, come on, internet. It's surprising that my Skype is not a problem at the moment. It's just seeming like,
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly clear, and it's just this part.
yeah, it can't be my website. Well, I hope not. We'll get there. But essentially what we have is a big button up here once this thing refreshes that says create new journal. And when you click on that create new journal, you're given the opportunity to create a new journal from existing template. And that existing template is what we work with you guys on to define what a trader should see in their journal, you know, as default. So once that's in there, it's just a matter of the trader going in and customizing it to whatever the needs are and start using it from there.
Excellent.
Okay, so this is really taking a while. All right, so let's just, I'm just going to jump in and hopefully this part will work. Oh, still getting there.
Still moving slowly.
Yeah, let me just see if it's okay, interesting. Okay, let me just pull up something else. All right, so here we are. So this is the reporting section of our journal. So obviously, once you fill in all your trade journal entries, this is the kind of reports that you can get out of it. There's two types of reports. One type is the reports that we generate that are standard, what we call standard reports. So things like understanding the total number of trades, your wins, your losses, your total dollar return, your average return, your average winner, your average loser, commissions, all this stuff here, biggest winner, biggest loser, all that stuff is just standard reporting,
Nice, yeah.
any kind of journal would need that. But then, and obviously this would be your equity graph.
Okay.
So your profit over time. But then we go into more in-depth analysis where we can actually help traders understand how profitable are they in, for example, in terms of weekdays, in terms of hours. So as soon as this shows up,
No problem.
sorry, I really don't know why it's a bit slow right now, but we'll have to look into that. But here we go. So while we don't have enough data in the back end to show you this working, I can just give you a quick understanding of what they're supposed to do. This chart here is a profit by month. So what it's supposed to do is break down per month how profitable you've been. So January, February, March, show you the profit levels. This is the most profitable times of day.
Nice.
So this is within a 24-hour period. what times are you most profitable, what times are you least profitable. So really helps you understand, are there any patterns behind that? And it really aggregates all of the trades that you've had within well, with all the trade journals that you had. So it looks at the times and profitability in those times. So it looks at only closed times. So obviously every time you close a trade, if it got closed at a certain time, were you profitable or were you not? This is most profitable symbols. Symbols meaning markets. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're a currency trader, what are the different
Currency combinations that you're trading.
currencies,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
combinations, and how profitable you've been. And the most profitable weekdays is obviously Monday to Friday. What is your profitability like?
Nice.
So it breaks it down there, but unfortunately we don't have the data in there yet to show you a good example, but it does work.
Nice.
um, but that's that. And the other second, so those are standard reports, but obviously you can customize, because you can customize the journal to what you want. You should also have the ability to have custom reports. So we provide the ability that anyone who's created their own custom fields can run reports off those custom fields. So we do that through a section called custom reports. And custom reports is really cool because you can actually report on many different aspects. Our most popular one would probably be this, which is your biggest psychological mistakes. Remember how we showed you that mistakes log earlier,
Yeah.
and how if you filled in the mistakes log, you could run a report. This is the report that you kind of can get out of it. So you can see how many times you were, for example, overconfident. So in this chart, you can see that you were overconfident 3 times, or you didn't follow your money management rule once. You exited too late twice. So this is obviously just sample data behind it, but as you fill it in more and more, you can see what are your biggest pain points as a trader,
Very cool.
psychologically.
Yeah, very cool.
And your trade tweaks as well. So this is stuff that we spoke about if you wanted to have technical, this is basically tagging a trade.
Okay,
So
so these
this
are all the tags and right.
these are all the
Okay.
tags and just shows you the profitability of each tag.
Wow.
This is the number of times I've read the affirmations.
Oh.
So, you
Interesting.
could be really lazy or not. You can track how lazy you've been. So,
Nice.
this is a these are uh, this is basically a list of trades that you didn't follow your trading rules. So you can start to create criteria where you can list things, um, and find out exactly. You can zoom in and understand where exactly you didn't follow your trading rules, where you entered too early, and have a list of every single trade that you entered too early, or every single trade that you didn't follow your trading rules, and really zoom in and understand, look into each individual trade. So you can do that there as well. And then you can do things like least profitable trade tweaks, most profitable traded security. So you see how profitable you were with all your different symbols. So an example of charts you can make, but obviously you can create a new report and go in and start from scratch and just create your own report based on any field that you have in your journal. You can add filters to it. You can do a lot of different things.
Wow.
So
And
a
customize
journal,
how it shows up so it's easier for depending on what's easier for you to
yeah,
read and well, that's great.
exactly.
Great.
So you can really, the level of flexibility in this is enormous. So I just created a quick chart just to show you how you can create one, but then you can obviously go in and you can add filters. This is a really unique thing. So you can say, okay, so I just clicked on trade outcome. So I created a report on trade outcome,
Mm.
but then I can say, let's just say, okay, so what I can do is put a filter to say use entries that match all the following conditions. Overconfident is checked. So what that does is it shows me how many times I've been profitable
Overconfident.
where I've been overconfident,
Yeah.
and see how many losses I've had and how many profits I've had. So,
So
you know,
is
you
that
can
state of mind hurting you or helping you?
exactly.
Right.
Yep,
That's very
exactly. And
cool.
you can add additional criteria. So you can just say not just overconfident, but also changed my mind. So
Mm.
it gives you an aggregate of both changed mind and overconfidence. What's your profitability? How many times you've profited? How many times you've lost? That kind of thing.
Wow.
So yeah, really the level of flexibility is quite a lot. You can you can definitely create custom reports in any way, in any way that you want. So that is the high level view. I think I probably got into a bit more detail than I would normally get into, but I think that gives you a really good understanding of the core things that we do.
Oh, it does. No, I'm glad you went into the detail you did. This is really exciting, and I can see tons of potential with our
Yeah,
with
awesome.
what we teach and how we do business and how your software plays right into it. So it's really great.
Great. So what the discussions I have with Norman is that yeah, we can set this up for you with a disciplined trader brand, and even the URL will show, say for example, tradingjournal.thedisciplinedtrader.com.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
even that is completely white labeled, and essentially all it has to happen is you just we have what we call an API, which just means that any of your users on your database, you can just send programming links to us that will automatically set up accounts. And when you set up an account, they get all their custom journals entered in, and basically just sets them up for them. But that's for another discussion. I think maybe we shouldn't talk about that. The technical side. That's yeah, that's a bit that can go into a while. But look, yeah, I guess I don't. I want to answer any questions that you got at this point, because I think I've been, do you have any questions for me in terms of how the journal
I
would
mean,
work? Or
no, not in terms of how it works. It's really clear and it seems very easy to use. But I'm fairly technical, and I work on software quite a bit, so
oh,
seems
nice.
really intuitive to me, and I imagine it would to everybody else, to users as well. So I don't have any about the software itself. I guess I'm wondering, and I know this will be down the line, but how I mean, say we decide to go forward and move ahead, and just
Yep.
wondering like what the next steps are. How long does it generally take to implement something like this if we were to white
Sure.
label it and those kind of details?
Sure. Okay. So from the moment, so there is a setup fee which I've spoken to Norman about,
Okay.
and basically the way it works is from the moment that the setup fee is paid for, it is pretty much a week and a half until you have a week and a half to maximum 2 weeks, until you have your own branded journal ready to go. And what actually happens in that time frame is we need to work with you to understand firstly what the journal brand should look like. So we do customize this to whatever you want. So whatever background you want and the logos you want and things like that. That's the first thing that we do. The second thing that we do is that we have to work with you to understand. Well, actually, sorry. We also need to understand what URL you want. So if it is tradingjournal.thedisciplinedtrader.com, then we need to work with you and your hosting provider
Mm-hmm.
to be able to say that, hey, look, we need the domain, the DNS to be forwarded to our servers,
Right.
and then they have to set that up for you.
Okay.
And
And
then
that
what
generally
happens
takes
is,
a couple days for it to kick in
yeah,
too. Yeah.
generally takes a few days. And then what we have to do is, for all journals that we provide, we have to, well, we don't have to, but we absolutely want to provide secure connections.
Mm.
So we have to set up an SSL certificate.
Hmm.
And basically what happens is I need like whoever owns the or whoever can have access to generic emails of the disciplinetrader.com domain. They have to receive this SSL email. They have to confirm it, and then we have to just say, okay, yes. Well, once they confirm that, then we can put it in our servers and install the certificate and things like that. So that process, I need to be able to speak to someone who has authority for that domain, and who, it might be yourself, it might be Norman. I'm not too sure who signed up for the domain, but that's someone I need to be able to work with.
Okay.
Um, and then once the SSL certificate is installed on our site, we're ready to go. It's basically, from that point, it's really just understanding, like giving you guys a training session, a few training sessions with how to set up users, how to create new accounts, how to create new journal templates, that kind of thing. and edit your own themes and things like that if you wanted to do that. And then we really get into trying to get you guys to put in your version of the master, what we call the master template. So what is the um, ideal view or ideal template to be able to copy each time someone wants to create a new journal?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to click on this and show you. This is what I was trying to show you earlier,
Okay.
but it wasn't working because it was so slow. Basically, what happens is if you want to create a new journal, you can create a journal from a template, and this is what we work with you on. So our templates are called, blank template, Forex journal, stock trading journal, but your templates could be, and you can have up to, I think, 4 or 5 templates. It may be Forex trading template. Not
Yeah, I
even, you don't even
mean,
have,
right. We
it could
have
be, it could be whatever, right?
yeah, and Norman's product is simple trading plans, so it could be like the simple trading plan journal, or or the fear and greed journal or something,
Yeah,
cut
exactly,
right.
exactly.
Okay.
And you can customize it to that. And what we do is that we help you get that template up and running, because we want to get that template. We put in certain aspects to make it run our custom reports as well as analytical reports. So once you design that template, we plug in our little bits and pieces so you can run reports into it.
Okay.
And that's it. You're good to go. Pretty much, you've got your templates running. The journal will be running in the back end, and essentially you're ready to market it. Really, it is something that obviously then you have to go back and look at your content and say, okay, how do we get this content, and then you know add a bit more content to show people how to use the journal.
Right.
And obviously we're there to help as well. But really, it's the actual process to get it from once paid to a working product would be I'd say about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. And does because I know there's a charge for the SSL certificate. I mean, is that included in the setup fee, and is also
It
like
is.
your consulting through this process as part of the setup fee as
It
well?
is.
Okay.
Yes. So it's a one-off setup fee.
Okay.
The SSL certificate is included, and that's those things are not cheap.
Right. Yeah, I know.
But yes, but yeah, exactly. So they're not. So yeah, I've already given Norman the details, and I believe you also have the details that I've sent to you, both of you guys, on what the setup fee and all that stuff is. But yeah, that is all included. The training's all included in that setup fee. We just basically get you from zero to fully working product um, in that amount.
That's great. All right. That's excellent news. um,
Yeah. So look, feel free to. I think I've given Norman in the email that I sent to Norman, which I believe he also forwarded to you, but I'll forward to you if you want as well. I've given a demo login,
Oh, great.
so you can go in and play around with it yourself,
Okay.
and really, yeah, really get an understanding. And whenever you guys, whatever the decision may be, come back to me, and we can definitely help out either way.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure you might have more questions from here, so feel free to email me, and happy to answer any questions that you have, and yeah, we can go from there.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I mean, this is really exciting. Like I said, definitely something I can see fitting into our product. And yeah, I will. I'm pretty sure I do have that email. I know he forwarded me some things from you, so I have you on Skype too, and I could book you that way if not.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and dive into the software, and I know Norman and I will probably be discussing it this week, and hopefully be able to get back to you. Um, if not by the end of the week, then beginning of next, I would say.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good.
Great. Well, thank you. And it's
Cool.
pronounced Sao. Is that correct? Your name?
Just call me just call me so, like
So. Okay.
like so what kind of.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
no worries, Suzanne. And yeah, just catch me an email if you need anything, and yeah, we can go from there.
Okay. Well, enjoy your cold day, and we'll talk again
Yeah,
soon.
cool. All right, speak to you
All right.
soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.